Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Entertainment Roadmap. Today we're here with Vritika Gupta from Under the Bridge. She played Reena. Hi, Vritika. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
We're great. So just to begin, you're so young and you've done really amazing things with your career already. When and how did you get into acting?
Yeah, so I started acting when I was about 7 years old, and me and my sister were actually watching the series called Bunked on Disney, and we were seeing kind of behind the scenes and how the cast all interacted with each other, and we were like, oh, we want to do that. So me and my sister decided to start acting and taking acting lessons, and then my sister eventually quit, but I kept going, and then I got this role, and here we are.
That's so
That's
cool. I
awesome.
also watched Bunked on Disney
Yeah.
Channel. Loved it. Disney was like the dream.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you watch Disney Channel and then you started acting and then you get into a show like Under the Bridge, which has huge names in it. It's a really amazing show. How did you get involved in the project? What was the audition process like?
Yeah, so for I auditioned November of 2022, and I had originally not heard of the story or the case at all, but that honestly was the thing that really intrigued me to do the project. I think it was super important to me because I'd not known about the project, and I'm sure a lot of others hadn't either. So I really wanted that story to get out there. So I'd auditioned November of 2022, and I was actually in California at that time shooting for another project, and it was due the next day, and there was a bunch of scenes where I was like, I need to do this. I need to get it done. So we auditioned for it. We didn't hear back for like 2 or 3 months, and then I had a bunch of callbacks and chemistry reads with like Chloe and Ayana and and Izzy, and as well as Julie Schubert, who's like the amazing casting director. And then we started filming November of 2023.
Wow. So just like kind of connected to you said you had chemistry reads. It really shows the chemistry that you had with the other actors in the show, like Izzy, Chloe, Ayana. Your characters weren't the best of friends, but it still takes a level of comfortability to act like that with and around each other. And also with Rena's family members. Did you do anything to build those relationships before filming, or did you just jump right in and it all came natural?
Yeah, so being able to have chemistry reads with Izzy, Chloe, and Ayana, I think that truly did help, even though it was on Zoom. I remember always telling them that after I hopped off that Zoom with all three of them, I just remember I was like, yep, they're the ones. And I felt that chemistry right away. And even meeting them for the first time in Vancouver, we instantly clicked. And, the Verk family as well, being able to have those rehearsals before shooting and being able to honestly truly be comfortable with each other was so important to us. And I think having that chemistry off screen totally translated on screen as well.
Definitely did. You're all amazing. The show's so authentic. It's one of the most real things that I've ever seen. Everything feels so natural. It doesn't feel like anybody's acting. It's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's so true. Um, so speaking of filming and being on set, do you have like a favorite behind the scenes story you could share with us?
Ooh, okay. I have honestly so many, but ooh, okay. I would definitely have to say my top one would be celebrating my birthday on set because the scene in the second episode where Rena's celebrating her birthday, I actually had we filmed that scene on my birthday as well. And I think that was just super fun to be able to have that experience of filming my real birthday on set. I came to set and I remember everyone had greeted me with these amazing presents and balloons, and my trailer was just filled with a bunch of gifts. And in the second episode in that scene, Manjeet gives Reena a poached egg, and we had done that scene so many times, so I was obviously expecting a poached egg. And on that last take, they gave me this huge cupcake, and everyone just started singing "Happy Birthday." And I think that definitely had to be one of my top moments for sure, just being able to have that experience. And the catering and crafty team as well, they all baked me this huge cake and my favorite lunch, which was super fun. But that would definitely have to be my top moment for sure.
That's
That's
so
so
sweet.
special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so amazing. I love all of these stories about how close the whole cast and crew seems offset. It just makes watching the show so much better and just like knowing that everybody was really like a family off screen.
Especially
Totally.
with this show because like obviously your characters aren't great together. So
Totally.
that's really awesome.
Yeah. So we were discussing, Sabrina and I discussed scenes that we found really memorable and powerful, and we really agreed that one of the best scenes in the whole show is the last one with Rena and her parents, where she's standing in the reflection. Is there a scene that you shot where you were like, whoa, that was amazing? Like you just had this feeling that it would translate so well on screen?
Ooh, it would definitely have to be during the 4th episode. I think when everyone did such a phenomenal performance in this, I think it was the part where, Manjeet walks down and then, he finds out he's getting arrested, and then you see kind of the cut to Rena entering into her Seven Oaks room, and that shot of Manjeet in the car as he's crying, and then you see Rena crying outside the window. I mean, I remember just shooting that, and as an actor, you don't get to, see all the scenes being shot. You only get to read it, or you only get to see the scenes that you've shot. So being able to see that scene translate onto screen was honestly a dream, and it was something that I thought I already knew was gonna turn out so good, but turned out even better than I expected. So I think all the performances during that scene, and there's so many great moments throughout the show, but that definitely had to be my top one for sure.
Yes, the parallel of him looking out the window and Rena looking out the window in two very different places is just
Totally.
amazing. And that also has a lot to do with the editing of the
Yeah,
show. And they really did a good job elevating everything.
Hmm.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. So like you said, as an actor, you don't get to see every scene that's shot, you just read it. Did you watch the show after it came out?
Yeah, so the night of the premiere, I had already watched episode 1, but then I decided I wanted to kind of watch it as the audience watches it as well. So I really get to understand their perspective and really how they viewed the show. So I watched it as the show's released, even though they did give us the cut for all the episodes before it even came out. But I really wanted to experience it with everyone and with my family. So I watched it weekly, and yeah.
That's awesome. Was there like a scene that you watched, that maybe you weren't in or that you hadn't seen originally that you saw while you were watching it and you were like, oh my God, that was so good.
Gosh. I definitely have to say the diner scene between Rebecca and Joe. I think that was so powerful, and even reading it, I thought it was so amazing, but being able to actually see it because I had not seen, anything at all. And I think also the prom scene as well. I mean, those 2 scenes were just so powerful and so impactful, and being able to see that and not only read it was super cool to see.
Yes. I was just now like trying to think of other scenes that I loved and like so many just came to mind. Genuinely every scene in the show is like a masterpiece in itself.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So also you've worked with a lot of other young people on the show, but also big names like Lily Gladstone and Riley Keough. What did you learn from your co-stars and everyone else working behind the camera? And will you take any of that with you to future projects?
Oh, yes, I totally will. I think one of the biggest things I learned from the set is being able to have kind of a support system to really rest your shoulder on and be able to ask those questions and be curious is something that really only an actor can dream of. And being on this set, it was so important to have those questions and be able to ask them. And we all were just so close, and being able to surround yourself with people that you trust and that you care about and who care about you is something that's so valuable, especially in this industry. And I think that's something I'll definitely take throughout all the projects that I do in the near future.
Yes, the support system is amazing. A
Yeah.
good thing to learn to have. And are you able to talk at all about working with Quinn Shepard as the showrunner?
Yes, oh my gosh, I remember the first time I met her was in my fitting before we had even shot, and I just remember I was like, "Oh my gosh, she is so cool." She was literally the coolest person ever, and she's just so lighthearted and has such an amazing personality, and you can really ask her anything about the show, and she knows all the answers, which is super awesome. And it was just great to have that support system, like I said, to be able to lean on and ask those questions, and she was always there for me, which I truly, really
Mhm.
appreciated.
And she was also an actress. Do you think that helped at all with how she interacted with all of you guys on set?
Yeah, 100%. I think we were filming one scene in episode 5 or episode 6 when me and Dusty have that phone call about stealing the address book, and we were talking about that, and she gave some really good key points about, what would she do if she was in that scene, and as an actor, I think it's really hard to relate to a director who, may have not been an actor in, their previous years, or it's hard to kind of have that perspective match, but with her, it was so easy to just truly be able to understand her because she understood us.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Noah and I are huge Quinn Shepherd fans. We've
Yes.
watched a ton of her projects, so that's really, really cool.
Yeah. When I was younger, there was this movie that I watched every Christmas called Unaccompanied Minors, and she was in that, and I
Yes.
loved it. Yes.
So, kind of switching gears, obviously, we love Under the Bridge and we thought it was so amazing, but like more, focused on you. You recently attended Elle's Hollywood Rising party, which is
Yes,
really, really cool. That's like such an honor, I feel like, especially you're so
totally.
young. That's really amazing.
Thank you.
We asked a couple people on Twitter if they had any questions for you, and someone named Leon wants to know if you got to meet anyone that you look up to or like maybe even want to work with in the future at the event.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I just remember walking into that room and at the rooftop, and I was like, this is crazy. It was truly like a dream, a fantasy, and being able to be there was an honor. But I definitely have to say I met so many great people and I got to meet a lot of cool celebrities and cool people to learn from. And I even got to meet some people that I used to watch when I was younger, which is super cool. I got to meet Sky Jackson, who played Zuri, and
Oh my
Jesse,
gosh.
which
What a
was
full circle moment.
seriously, and I got to meet Lana Condor as well from To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and those are just some of my favorite people that I got to meet and meet, and I got to meet some other cool people, and I don't know, just being there was just a great honor, and it was super fun, and I'm super excited.
Was that your first like big event that you went to?
Yeah, it
Yes.
was a lot of fun.
That's crazy. Did you get like all glammed up before and everything? Was that fun?
Yeah, we had like an Airbnb, and my glam team had came, and we got to take photos before the event too. It was a lot of fun.
That's so
That's so
exciting. That's
fun.
like the whole Hollywood experience.
Totally, yes.
Yes, here's to many more. You definitely deserve all of the recognition and the praise.
Thank you.
You and the whole cast as well. Everyone was amazing.
Thank you.
So on Entertainment Roadmap, we like to do a hot seat round. Are you ready to sit in the hot seat?
Yes.
So first question is cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Yes, I agree.
So the next one is FaceTime or texting.
Oh, this is a hard one. Okay, I think I definitely say FaceTime because I think it's easier to, express your emotions that way and, get your point across better.
For sure.
Definitely. Rom-com or horror?
Ooh. I think it honestly depends on the mood you're in, but I'd have to say horror. I think you can be in any mood for horror, and I think a good jump scare is always fun.
Do you have
Yeah,
a favorite horror movie? Oh, sorry.
oh, you're
Ooh,
good.
I'd have to say The Conjuring. I absolutely love that movie. It's just, oh, the jump scares just get you every time, even when you expect it, and even when you most expect it. It always gets you, and it's so much fun.
Yes.
That's like my favorite horror universe. I love the Conjuring
I
films.
love it.
I was watching all of them like in chronological order with my dad, and we didn't make it to the end yet because we got busy, but I have to continue.
Yes, you have to. It's so
So
good.
good. Yes.
What was the last TV show you binge watched?
Ooh. I think the last TV show I binge watched was Jane the Virgin, I think. I've watched that series, I think, too many times to count on my fingers, but each time I always discover something new, and it's so much fun to watch.
What's a current song you have on repeat?
Ooh. I have two. I have Better Together by Jack Johnson. It's just such like a summery vibe, and I don't know, I always feel so happy listening to that. And I'd have to say, ooh, I like Dreams, Fairy Tales, and Fantasies by Brent Fayez as well.
Ooh,
Good picks.
yeah,
Thank
that's a
you.
good one. Jack Johnson is like one of my favorite artists of all time. His music is just so like comforting.
Seriously, and just being able to, like, in the car, I remember getting ready for the L event, I would just remember listening to that music, and it's just so relaxing, and you just feel like on top of the world.
Mhm.
It's
Yes, for sure.
Is it his song that's in the Curious George movie?
Yes.
Okay, yes. That's the first movie I ever saw in the movie theater when I was a kid.
Aw.
And so I like vividly remember that song.
Okay, so last one. Dream actor you would die to work with.
There's so many good ones. Okay, the ones that come on top of my head are definitely Mindy Kaling. I think she's so extremely talented, and she just seems like it would be such an honor to work with her. And I just absolutely love their movies. I would definitely have to say Kevin Hart or Adam Sandler for sure.
They seem so nice, like so
Oh, it's
funny.
the
Yeah, those are really good picks.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. So thank you so much for spending time with us
Yeah,
today,
thank you.
Vritika. We had an
Yeah,
amazing time talking to you and getting to learn all about Under the Bridge and like attending the L event and just all your movie and preferences and stuff like that. So thank you so much and
yes,
have a great day.
thank you. You too.